You're entering the future-ready CNBC TV.
Hello and welcome to the CNBC TV 18 EBIX Cash Studio. I'm Sumaira Abdi and you're watching MF Corner. On the show today, we're going to be joined by Feroze Aziz, Deputy CEO of Anand Rathi Wealth, who's going to talk to mutual fund investors about, what lies ahead once the market is at its peak for now. So first up, let me invite Feroze Aziz. Hi Feroze, good afternoon. So Nifty is past 18K and the one question that all mutual fund investors have is, will there be a correction? What should I do from here?
Yes, Sumira, I think whenever you look at markets, it's very important to broadly classify the markets to be in a bull run or a sideways movement or a bear run. In the current situation, of course, the market rally over the last year and a half would imply that we are in a bull run. But the attributes of four attributes of a bull run, which have helped me in the last couple of decades to identify those periods, clearly indicate that it is actually a bull run. The four attributes, Sumera, to my mind, if it's to be articulated, one is the return, earnings, interest rate, and the GDP growth expected. These four can give you a sense whether it's a bull run as long as these variables are greater than the long-term averages.
Okay, so does that then mean that there will not be a correction or that it's something that we shouldn't worry about?
See, no, corrections will be there. So if you look at the numbers, if I begin with returns, long-term average returns are about 13%. Last bull run, if you see from 2003 end till 2007, the returns were close to 50% per annum. For the last year and a half, it has been 76%. So return is a tick mark. Then if you move to interest rates, long-term interest rates have been 7.5% on the 10-year G-Sec. In the last bull run, it was about 6.7. In the current phase, we are at 6%, so lower than the long-term interest rates. So that's another tick mark. Earnings growth, how much are the companies earning? The long-term average is 11. Last bull run, it was 25. In this period, it's been 35% earning growth. And lastly, if you look at the GDP estimates, last bull run, it was about 7.2. Long-term average is about 5.8. And currently, we have an estimate of 9.5, 10%. So having said which, Sumera, coming back to your pointed question, should we expect any corrections? Again, deriving some learnings from what we've seen in the previous bull runs, from 2003 to 2007, there were 7 such instances when the markets fell more than 10%, ranging from 11 to almost 29% falls were seen during the bull run. So these corrections are bound to happen because in bull runs, participants get excited, so there is exuberance, and again there's some retracement as things progress. So I would say bull runs are corrections are a part of the bull run, but the bounce backs are going to be very swift.
Okay, so if that is the case, is it better to then stay invested in mutual funds? I mean, would mutual fund investors be better off than, say, direct stock investors? Or should, people even look at tapering a little bit or increasing? What is the way for an investor to go?
Once an investor has internalized, the corrections are also going to be a part of the bull runs, not just the bear runs. The thing which the person needs to remember is that mutual funds, in fact, if you look at the last 20-year data, have fallen marginally lesser than even Nifty. Nifty is a very broad-based index, which itself is resilient to falls beyond much lower than stocks could bring down the value. So point one, if you're owning stocks, you have to expect larger volatility. Nifty has lower volatility than stocks, of course. And then mutual funds have actually had 2-3% lower falls in the last 20 years during periods of correction. And the time it takes to retrace back to the peak, which is what is the painful period for an investor to see his portfolio off the peak, is significantly lower in the case of mutual funds. It took 299 days for the Nifty to retrace back to the peak of a specific year. But in mutual funds case, it is retraced back in 208 days. So it saves the investor a 3-month of painful negative on his portfolio.
So, Feroze, then, the other thing that investors hear a lot in the commentary is that, valuations are very frothy. I mean, what does it mean for a mutual fund investor?
Yes, Sumera, I think we hear this from several market experts, participants, even on a social gathering, you say markets are overvalued. So at Anand Rathi, we believe in trying to numerically quantify any English term which expresses markets, economy, and stuff. So we try to bring a number to the froth. So that's an interesting exercise which we do continuously. Froth or the extra valuations or the excessive valuation is nothing but the difference between what is the current market level and what is the reasonable Nifty level, which it should be as per the fundamentals. So if you look at the current Nifty level, it's about 18,000 today. And as per us, if you look at a 21 earnings multiple for the market, 800 is the next year's earning estimate. So we're looking at something close to 16,500, 16,600 as the reasonable value of Nifty, which implies 18,000 minus 16,600 is 1,400 points. This is the numerical value estimate of the froth, which is about 7.5% today, which is not too much. So what should an investor do looking at a froth of 7.5%? I won't panic because that's the nature of the market. It sometimes goes ahead of fundamentals.
Firoz, are there certain mutual funds which are better poised at market highs to sort of capture the upside, or rather be more resilient if there is a downside ahead? I mean, what are your recommendations?
See, Sumit, I think you hit the nail on the head. There will be some portfolios which will be better poised for a broader market like we are today. See, what's happening is there's a lot of money chasing fewer stocks. So analysts today are looking for newer and newer ideas. So in a phase like this, over the next 1 year, I strongly believe that contra funds, which were not getting discovered during low liquidity periods, will have a higher probability of discovery. So an SBI contra fund, which has contrarian bets in the portfolio, those stocks will get discovered by the markets because analysts are looking for newer and newer undervalued ideas. So that's one specific fund. I think that's one fund you should take because it has a good mix of large, 45% in large, mid and small cap having 25-30% each. So in an economic cycle which we are entering, I would say a broader market rally will definitely support this specific portfolio. And we calculate the target NAV of each fund in question. Here you're looking at a target NAV of almost about 2.5% greater than the target NAV of Nifty. So that's one fund which we've not recommended in the past but comes into the basket today. Then you have ICICI Focused Equity, Franklin Blue Chip, and the last one would be one second.
I think you've recommended Canara Robeco.
Canara Robeco FlexiCap.
Yeah, Flex.
Yes. These are the four funds. SBI Contra, I elaborated because that's the first time we're recommending. Given the current context, it's very contemporary. These four funds can definitely do justice to an investor's money for the next year and a half.
So for these funds, they're geared to capture the upside, or are you recommending them because, more from the capital protection point of view?
I think both, Sumira. If you look at the Canara FlexiCap, has the best efficiency. Its efficiency is 0.95, which is the best in the category of FlexiCap. What do I mean by efficiency is the return upon risk. So for every step in risk, which is the fund which gives you the maximum return is called the most efficient. So it has a certain degree of risk mitigation and also has something called the target NAV concept, where we calculate the target of each fund. Now, if you look at Franklin Blue Chip, when I recommended it on TV18 on 1st of January or somewhere thereabouts, the return target NAV was about 29%. It has already delivered 39, but still has a potential of a 19% target NAV on the current constituents over the next 1 year till next November. So it's return and risk, both are sides of the same coin. Efficiency and also the return potential of the constituents have been kept in mind before recommending these four funds.
Okay, so basically an investor selects one or two of these schemes as per how it fits into their portfolio, and it's add-on, right?
Yes, it's an add-on, or if somebody has to invest today, if he's beginning or she's beginning today, they can include all these four funds. If they've been following your show and they already have some of these funds, then they can see which one is the most complementary. I think SBI Contra should complement most investor portfolios because it's not a popular theme of the past.
Got it. Feroze, thank you very much for joining in and for explaining, to investors that basically nothing much to worry about right now. The market is broadening out and, like Feroze mentioned, all indicators for now appear to be pretty supportive. There will be a correction, but it's really nothing to worry about. And last year, how we'd seen mutual fund investors, sort of take money out and therefore they missed when the rally started. So this time, I hope that everybody has sort of learned their lesson to remain invested and follow your asset allocation. I'm going to wrap up then on MF Corner for now, but do stay tuned in. The team of Closing Bell joins you next.